following is a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 1.
Hello everyone and welcome here to the 2025 MRE UNO tournament as we have entered into T3 Movie May. Getting ready here for the Slapstick 64 in the Slushie region. And this sounds like a movie title. This is Lara versus Llamas here today. Looking forward to seeing who's going to be moving on to try and make their way into the Thriller 32. Should be a good one here on an early Friday morning. Getting set here for two individuals that had entirely different T2s back during Automotive April. For Lara, she made a very good run in the Automotive April. Comes in subsequently as the number 5 seed here in Movie May. For Cody Llamas, he's looking to kind of get out of the blocks here, as so far he's been on an offer in T1 and T2, trying to find a little movie magic here in the month of May. How did we get to this point here? Well, so far only one game has been played in Movie May on the Slushie region side, as Goldie was able to sweep Drip. He's going to be facing off against Myth, who of course was on the bye as the number 1 seed. Winner of this matchup here today will take on either Toaster Guy or Steven. That matchup going to be decided later on next week on Tuesday, late Tuesday afternoon. It's a full schedule here today, as this is one of 4 games that are going to be streamed here on the MRE UNO YouTube channel. Later on, at 1 p.m., Nick going to be taking on Eric Monaco. Yours truly going to be taking on Yoshi at 3. Avian against DJ Curtis in the Soda region. Prime time at 7 p.m. And then at 9 o'clock this evening to cap off an incredible day of streamed games, it's going to be Nam taking on William Brock over in the Candy region. Well, buy yourself an overpriced bowl of popcorn. Let's head to the marquee, down to the table. I'm Seth Cole. I got KT with me here on commentary. Short going to be doing our reffing here today. And KT, with what we've seen so far in T1 and T2, we've seen upsets. We've seen people that are on paper look like they're going to handily move on, and they've been able to do so. But there's been a lot of unpredictability, especially with what we had here for the bot. I mentioned it coming into this one in the preface. Cody so far is on an offer. He's not been able to get out of the round of 64. But, you know, we've seen glimpses in middle games in the series that he's been in where he's been able to look like he can be a formidable force. Now, Lara's got that experience from T2, moving pretty high up there in the rankings. How did those two different varying storylines, how did they clash coming into this one?
Well, first off, Lara's a guy. His real name's Alex, so they're all good there. But regardless, Laraujo, I think, has been a shock to the season. No one had him in the top 25 entering any poll at the beginning of the year. I think myself even said that was his best run. I know he had a really good run about a year ago, but That was in T3, ironically. This one's a little bit more impressive what he did in T2 because he had to go through the motions. Beating a guy like Yepes is not no easy feat. He fell short to G, but then again, that was a rematch. For Cody, it's been snake bin luck, man. He just hasn't been able to get on the right foot. Against Retro, just nothing, and then against Andy, he had the winner, and then all of a sudden, he just couldn't get the job done with a defensive power play Andy pulled, and fair play to him. But this is going to be an interesting game. Cody didn't drop a single seed line. He still has the same 12. Lara moved up from a 13, and we've seen some crazy upsets already. It's not out of the possibility to see one here because we saw what happened with Acosta and Ellison, who no one had those guys win. They broke long winless droughts. We're talking over a year plus for both of them. Anything can happen in this league. It's definitely a league where anyone can really put in the work and put in the right work. The question I'm going to have today really for Cody Llamas will be just how can he keep the momentum going off a good week off the table. That's really all I'm going to see. How he's been having a good week off the table, so we'll see what he can do in here. That's really all I got. As far as Lara, I think for him it's just about doing what he did, but also not being too hesitant. I think it's going to be a good game. Both guys know what they got to do, and it should be a fun one here today, 7 at 11 a.m.
Absolutely. Well, we'll talk to our two participants in this matchup. Cody, I'll start with you. Obviously, coming into this one, you've got a lot of experience. You got a lot of accolades here in MRE UNO, but 2025 has just not really been your year, at least so far. What's the confidence level coming here into T3? Because it's a clean slate, starting right over again here, and maybe you can make a good run if you can get out of the blocks here in this first game.
Well, I think you've said it. It's pretty much a clean slate. That's how you have to go into these games now these days. You can't rest on the past, even though we all know how unlucky I've been. And I can say for personal, just you go into these games kind of the way you always go into these games, and you just see how they play out. And you try to stay very, mentally strong, as some people would say. And no matter the result, you just keep playing and hope it turns your way. And hopefully, as KT also said, it's been a good week, so this would be a little cherry on top. But, whatever happens, you don't need the cherry all the time on a nice ice cream.
True that. Well, Lara, apologies, first off, for calling you a girl when you're a guy. My bad there. I'm not going to lie. Last tournament, I was very scared that I was going to completely butcher your name. That's why I'm kind of adhering to the Lara nickname. But congratulations on the performance you had back in T2. How much of that do you tap into here for T3? Or do you kind of approach Movie May now as a completely different animal?
I think just go forward with the similar game plan to G2, although I do think I want to take what I learned from my match against G-Man and not be afraid to pull out not be afraid to get a little more aggressive with ammo or power plays if I need to. Yeah.
Well, best of luck to both of you here in this series. I believe Short's already gotten everything typed in. We're all set to go. Being the highest seed, Lara, you would be the one that gets the first call here. What are we looking at to kick off this first matchup of the day here in the Slushie region for the Slapstick 64?
I will say it's a little weird being the higher seed this time, but let's start off with a 10.
All right, kicking things off with a perfect 10. That's what I don't think that's actually a movie score. I don't think they rated on 1 through 10.
No.
So what, 1 through 100 with Rotten Tomatoes or something?
I think that's what it is, yeah.
I don't think we want to start with 100 cards.
No, we would be having to have multiple decks. But
Short with the capital N-O.
I would be here for nights. But now, right now, it's interesting, I would say here, Seth, as I think both players will sort through the cards, sort through the deck. It's going to be the usual customary tradition for both. We'll see how it goes. I think Cody's learned from the past in terms of, when to make the right moves. In terms of experience, he's been here since all the way back in 2023 T2. He's been here forever, right? Lara is the same thing in a way. Been here since 2023 T5, and as we continue to build league history, they're both vets of the old game, so that's nice. Here we go.
Yeah, and you got to wonder too. I mean, Cody part of the master class, Lara part of the novice class, but obviously Lara went up against the eventual champion of T2, G-Man, in that last tournament. That kind of experience as well, maybe kind of to sponge off of somebody that was able to go all the way, could maybe help him here in this matchup, and if he progresses through this series, further on here in T3.
There's the early switch to blue to the Lane Sanders from the red. It's early dice so far for Llamas on red, but we'll move over to blue, see what we can get here.
10 cards apiece to start out with, so definitely could be some ammo on both sides.
Oh.
Early draw.
All right, a little 3-color, but it could be a little 3-color for both parties. See how this one goes. Lara drawn. Cody runs with blue. So 3-color, that means we will have other colors. So you wonder if just patience could come into play here. Let's see what Cody will do.
For Cody, if he can continue to run in blue, not open up that Pandora's box and give Lara an opportunity to get some momentum back. Could have some ammo in those 3 remaining colors.
See what Lara will do here. They're taking his time. See what he's got. Off topper, maybe. Maybe a switch. Yep, they're back to red. So now Cody will see if he's got a 2 efficiency or is he juiced. He back to blue!
Wow, look at that!
A classic! Yeah, the old classic there. We've seen that one before. It's been a popular move. We've seen everyone really adopt that strat.
Had that self-ditto, if you will, in reserve to get it back to the color he wanted. Now let's see if Lara maybe has... Oh, okay.
Oh. That's weird. I think he meant blue skip, yeah. So Cody gets away with a little bit there. Yeah, gets a little away with that one. And Cody will throw a +2. So Lara should be able to get out of that junk now. Yeah, well, sometimes it happens. Short. Sometimes it happens, Seth. I think Short and I saw that yesterday with the Ellison game, I believe. But ironically, Andy got away with it. But we have seen that player too. There's the draw, and here comes Cody.
Yeah, and sometimes, if it's earlier on in the game, it's not going to hurt you that badly. Especially, as we see there, he was able to get rid of that blue skip, so it's not as if Cody has any idea now that card's going to be in his hand. But we have also seen, I recollect, I think it was a couple of times back in T2, mistakes in typing the command and not getting a card played, and that ultimately ended up swinging the advantage to the other side. So it's something you got to be aware of here. I mean, a best of 7 series here in the early going of Movie May, so you want to probably get that first or second game to have some kind of momentum heading into the middle, and of course the latter games here of this series, and you don't want to end up finding yourself on the back foot at a disadvantage just due to a minor typing mistake.
Yeah, it's early, and that's game 1. Sometimes it happens with game 1 fillers. You just make the mistake, you don't get away with it, or you get away with it a little bit, you move forward. Don't think that's going to be too big of a deal here as we run the yellows. Lara will throw a +2, and he'll take the lead back now. But we do open up the new color of yellow. Still juiced on blue and red, I think, for both parties. It's really just see what the green will hold. And here comes Cody. This will play it cool.
Yep, he'll draw it back even. 6 cards apiece. We've yet to venture into green, so I would say that'd be the Pandora's box here, at least for this first game. And as soon as I say that, right on cue, Cody will swap us over into said green with the 3.
Yeah, Cody into the green now. See what happens here. Lara's juiced on it. On the yellows, at least. Green could open the door, see how it goes. Plays it cool. Now Cody will run.
And Lara was also iced out on the blue earlier, so it might be a 2-color hand there.
Little ditto action there from both guys. We haven't seen much dittoing as we'll go 1 up into the Vapor, popping Biles G6. Getting Slizzer. Really, so far, I have to say, it's been very two-color, tricolor, maybe. Nothing really. Oh, man.
Been relatively calm as well, almost uncomfortably calm. We've had a couple of jabs with +2 double plays on both sides, but we haven't really seen any major ammo played yet. And we're down in that region now as we're at 4 cards each, where if there's that kill shot card maybe to finish something out, you got to wonder who has it and when it's going to get played.
Tied to 3, still pretty low on ammo. A lot of numbers other than a couple +2s. Really, this is it. As Lara draw, yeah, this has been a weird one, Seth. It's been very calm, very similar, I guess, to what we saw yesterday with Clay and Rogers. No +4s for a long time. Here comes Cody.
This could be a finish. And it is.
That's a finish. And
that is a finish.
how about that? 0 +4, 0 wild regulars. Cody gets it done. Pretty much old school. Let's go to Cody. I guess we'll go split. I guess I'll take Llamas here. Oh, you know, Seth, you take Llamas. It's your buddy. It's both of our buddies. Go ahead.
Cody, I was looking back at when you drew on the green 9. What were you looking for there? Did you get the green reverse on the draw? Did you already have that and you were just looking for more green? Like, what was the plan there with that draw? Because we obviously saw you had green to finish out to get to red to end this game out. So was it the top deck draw with that green reverse to get you home?
Nope, it was a red reverse. That is what I got.
Oh.
I had the green reverse 7 and a red 3. I think I've made a little error. I think I should have probably maybe went to get rid of the red 3 a little earlier. But yeah, pretty much that whole game I had a bunch of 3s and a bunch of 2s and then that one blue +2. But besides that last draw where I got that reverse, and then that was the link that I needed to pull it out. Thank God.
Yeah, we'll go over to Lara. I really have to assume it was a double color. You really couldn't fade off of the blue much, and Cody really got you puzzled out on the green. Was it just a hand where it was too much workaround numbers where you couldn't just cook, or was it a case of because it was two color, maybe you hadn't seen that in a game 1 situation in a minute, and it took a while to figure out Cody's style, but in the end it didn't matter because really no one had much ammo at all, especially with no wilds and +4s.
At the end there, you kind of really had me because I was after the green 0, I was trying to go back to red.
Okay.
But no, throughout the game, I had all the different colors.
Okay.
Really, I think the main mistake was me trying to play a red skip when I didn't have one.
Okay. So that was so it was the blue skip. Yeah, that can make sense. We talked about. Appreciate that, man. That makes sense though, Seth, because that one card mistake that you take care of that blue 6 combo with the B6, then that might change your style to where maybe I could go back into something. So I could see where I could. Now, did you top deck that yellow skip? Did you have it off the start?
The skip, yeah, I drew that right after that.
Okay, so eye for an eye. All right, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Well, Seth, it's interesting. Low ammo game here. We haven't seen a wild or a +4, and that's interesting because this spot we talk about so many metas, but we have not seen a low ammo meta in a hot minute. We saw it with Clay and Rogers yesterday. However, even that, it got to the point where there was almost number efficiency intangibles, and that was more of a lower start of the game, 5, 6, 7, 8, that usual low tier. This has been a mid-tier start, so we'll see how this continues moving forward for sure.
Yeah, an interesting tone set there. As you said, only 6 ammo cards combined played there. 2 reverses, 2 skips, and then 1 +2 each. Did not see wilds come into play at all, so a lot of it really came down to the number efficiency, and we've seen that so many times here throughout 2025 in both the first and second tournaments where sometimes you end up getting all that ammo, but sometimes you really just have to kind of go to plan A, and you just have to play efficiently with what you are given in the low ammo. So good job by both of them there, whittling their hands down. It got really down to that end zone you talk about, 3-4 cards, with Cody able to get the card necessary to chain it, and it may not be the last time we'll see a game similar to that here in this series, as now we'll get set for the upcoming second game. And I've tried to remember in this best of 7. I believe that Lara still has the possession
Yeah,
advantage
Lara.
here in game 2. So, Lara, you're down 0-1 right now. Chance to draw it back even. What are we looking for here for game 2?
Let's run it back.
Run it back? Okay. Gonna go back to 10. Interesting.
I don't think
Well, Seth, we
I don't
seen
think
you
I've ever
run
had
it
that
back
happen,
start.
KT, in any of the games I've done with you. I don't think I've ever had anybody lose on a
Run it
number and
back,
then
yeah.
run it back the following game.
Saw it last night, ironically, with Drip, but that, honest to God, that was a different scenario. I think that game was just more. I think Drip was just trying to. He was getting cooked all night. Here, 10, keeping it mid tier. Interesting. I guess it's an interesting look because then if we do get the split on it, then it's juice for the whole game. But we'll see. It's a strategy. It's definitely a strategy. Haven't seen it much on 10. We usually see it on full sets, really. 15s, even 5s sometimes. Cap is always knocking and lurking, but we'll see. This is an interesting one to start off for sure.
+2 right out of the gate. We'll see if Lara decides to build off of that or just play it cool.
Z.
+Z. I
Yeah,
was going to remark, though, beautiful job on the custom cards here for this season for Movie May. Got
yeah, we did a
Slushie,
good job,
soda,
Zach.
popcorn, and
Yeah,
candy.
yeah, the old overpriced snacks. Yeah, G did a good job with the theme. Zach did everything he could with the cards, and then of course, Cody did a great job with the entry list and the old package we have. Short did the match previews. We always have a good. Yeah, no, you can see it. It's clear. I think there's another card like that. I believe it's the Sting 5, or just the 5 is a little. It's got the Z2 in a way. You'll see it there in a second, but any 5 card really. But right now they're playing it cool. See how it continues.
Yeah, but starting with an ammo card there, the +2. I wonder if that's an indicator that we're going to see more ammo played here in this second game. But both plays it cool in the red. Lara will continue to run the red here with the 4, kind of lower tier, at least for the moment on the numbers. And Cody immediately iced out on the red.
Yeah, Cody iced down the red. We've seen really just the red has been a first trigger play of just not having it. So this could be another case of maybe saving or recolor. See.
I feel like every time I say iced out, though, I kind of in my head put it in air quotes because I've seen so many times that, there'll maybe be an ammo card in red that somebody's holding back. They don't want to play it right away. So it doesn't mean necessarily they don't have red. It's just that maybe they don't want to play the red that they have this early on.
Right, into the Gangster 1 now, and that's the beauty of masking your cards, right? It's the beauty of everybody in this league. Everyone can mask their cards really well, put the camouflage looks and how they go from there, and see what we get from this game. It seems early, though. It is another classic case of just calm, composed, nothing really out of the ordinary here. A lot of numbers.
Okay, Cody might have indeed been iced out in red as he initiates the swap over to blue. We're going to run in that color for a little bit here.
See what Lara will do here.
Lara with a 2-card possession.
Yeah.
Now make it 3.
Okay, ditto play. Seen that one before. That's a classic. And there's Cody drawing.
Cody iced out on blue, which is interesting because he made the initial swap over to that color. So now Lara firmly in control will continue to run in blue. Now down to 4 cards, and
Ooh,
Cody,
his own card.
yeah, having to use the wild to get over to yellow. First wild card we've seen played so far today.
Yeah, his own card now. See what this could potentially mean. Lara plays it cool. Here comes Cody. +2, so that will throw Lara back, and just like that, Seth, 1 possession now.
Yep, little check there by Cody. Lara was down to 3 cards.
Yeah, but still, regardless, it's been quiet, tame, low ammo. Been very composed from both players. There's really no there's really an old school game. There's really no crazy shots. It's old school. It's a lot of respect on the table. It's been pretty clean, is what she wants. Definitely a throw it back vintage type game for sure.
Yeah, but this is Movie May. this is the build up, right? There's gonna be the big payoff at the end before those end credits scroll up.
There's one. There we go. There's the blue. So now Cody didn't have any blues, so you gotta think this is where the save would come in if he did have the save.
No quick draw here by Cody, so he might have had something.
This is where that save comes in.
Cody
Let's
down to
see.
6 cards, so I don't know if it necessarily be a finish. Okay, he'll bring it back to yellow, and he'll draw Lara back with a +4.
Yeah, so maybe there was some type of finish there, or some type of staller, so good move on Lara to flush it out. Now the question is man, that's gonna be a lot. That's a lot of yellow. That's gonna be a lot of yellow. Let's see if Cody can still run that yellow. That's gonna be the thing, I think, with this game.
A lot of cards on return there for Lara as well. We'll see if she can utilize that to draw Cody back as well.
Seth, you did it again.
Ah, gosh.
You good, buddy. Yeah, his real name Alex, but it's all good. That's just his nickname. Okay, so there's the +2. So now, well, there you go, Seth. Now the war is on, right? Now the ammo war is on. Everyone's throwing caution to the wind. We just took a little bit to get going. Now, double +2. That's 3 +2s used, including the bots +2. And Cody will do a double.
Yeah, he'll take one of the +2s away there.
Will be here from Lara. Goes into red now. Interesting.
Okay.
Well, now with all the returns, you have no idea what either player has, because it could be a back and forth duel here. Let's see. Here comes Cody.
Ran in red for a while at the beginning of the game, and then swapped over to blue, but both have been hit with +4s and +2s, so you got to assume that there's some red in reserve now for both sides.
Yeah, red, definitely red in reserve for both sides. I think this comes down to the point now where when you have all those returns, a lot can go back, but nothing here from Lara. Here comes Cody. Interesting. Cody have a ditto, maybe? Interesting. That'd be something. No ditto, but this is a red 2, so trying to play keep away.
Yep, trying to work on a little number efficiency here. Keep Lara iced out on red and get the possession back, which indeed he will do so there.
There's the ditto. I was thinking someone has a ditto, self-ditto. We've seen that one before. Lara will get a topper. Comes Cody.
Even at 5 each.
And Cody's out, so now they're both out. Barring a switch. So there's the switch.
I was going to say, I wondered if maybe Lara might have been playing that red 1 on purpose.
Well, it's interesting because that could have been a topper, or I could have been a save. That's a real gutsy topper for sure, or save if that isn't the case to save. We'll have to ask that question. Good topper though, I'd have to assume. You never know though. Now in the green, +4s have been traded. Some +2 blows have been traded. Been tit for tat here for sure. Half off. What will Cody have in reserve here? I'm interested, Seth, because looking at this, green has been more sporadic. We saw the +2 used, but there still is one remaining, so that's interesting to know.
Yeah, you got to wonder what ammo there could be left, because we've seen quite a lot of it played already. When Cody played the +4, then Lara answered back with the stacked +2s. Was that all the ammo they had? And now are we kind of back to where we were near the close of the first game, where we're just kind of relying on numbers and number efficiency out of the gate? Cody taking his time here, typing out something. He's at 5 cards. We can't say it's not a finish, because we've seen people end with 8 cards in their hands and end up having a 7 or 8 bag finish. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, depending on the cards.
No, but a +4 again.
Double feature of what we saw earlier.
Cody with another one now, so he's starting to really. Oh, there's the old Z. Yeah, you can see that with the 2 now. So but no, it's the it's the classic case of cat and mouse. Who's going to run it? Old tortoise hair. We'll see. We seem to have those kind of matches, certain. But let's see if Lara's got some number of fish. as the ammo starts to go wild now.
Yeah, when we saw Cody play the first +4, Lara was able to
Ooh.
answer back with +2s. One or both could have been on the return, but nothing here.
So nothing from Lara off the +4 return. Here comes Cody looking for check, maybe? You got it, check.
Is
Okay.
at check. Little double play there with the reverse into the Z. Sorry, 2.
You can't unsee it. Cody's right. You can't unsee it.
And that is a
All right,
that's a ditto play there in a sense too, because remember Cody played the yellow 2 off the +4. Lara was not able to do anything with it, and he brought it back to the yellow 2 on that double play. So unless Lara has a good defensive card right here, if Lara was indeed iced out before, it would have to be iced out now.
Hard to really say too on number of fish because that double 2 could have been for a finish. Hard to read though. Very hard to read on that. Oh, +4. So there we go.
+4,
So
yep.
that's the other +4 we've seen. So now the ammo's flowing, and that should be 3 of them used. One more left in the building. Yep.
You'd be correct.
Here comes Cody though.
We
Still a
have
possession
half of our
arrow.
wilds
Yep.
still left. Only one wild +4 remaining in the deck.
There you go. He's got the 2 possessioner now. I don't know, Seth, if Cody had the window. Think about it, because as Lara draws, you wonder if the power play would have been used. Cody is a guy that not really, as we draw here, not use anything to finish sometimes with power play. So that was interesting with the +4 there. As here comes Cody.
I also have to wonder if when we saw Lara iced out on that first yellow 2 after the +4, if a +4 was given on the return, if maybe a +4 was a top deck draw, or was that a card that Lara was holding onto for a good portion of time in case Cody did get down to check.
Cody going to draw. Now we're going to draw city. Now, all fair and love and draw city. That's how we do it here. Cody's still up 2 possessions. See what Lara will have here.
A lot of ammunition been used as well. I believe 3
Okay.
of the +2s have been utilized,
Topper.
both in yellow.
Cody only up by 1 now as Lara draws back. And that now will come down to really just who wants to push that pace as we continue to go.
Yeah,
Cody looking to...
We were back to where we started, but...
Okay. Now he'll get it back up to 2. Yeah, a little tit for tat. Classic.
Does that open up the door for a... Nope, I was wondering if that opened up the door for a color
No.
swap there by Lara. No.
Just
Maybe
saw the
Cody.
6 too. Yeah, just saw the 6, so that would make sense to where they would just go back.
Oh, that's right. That's true. Yep.
So Cody playing a little defense, Lara playing a little defense. Just classic defense on defense. And you got to think now, Seth, with all the ammo being juiced a little bit on +4s, we still have those red wilds, but it's going to come down to a +2 game. We haven't seen a single +2 in this color, so that's one thing to note.
Good point. A lot of lower tier cards as well still to be played in blue. Both the 2s, 3, 4, both the 5s as well. Now we'll go
Topper.
top deck there and top floor in the 9 in blue. Yeah, I believe actually both the 9s hadn't been played either.
What's it going to be from Cody here?
We do still have 1 red 9, 1 green 9, 1 yellow 9, so we could potentially see a color swap here.
Oh my!
Oh wow! Okay, we'll see a color swap, but not in the way I was expecting. Little quad play
Cody
there from Cody.
Yeah, Cody he must have had one of those +2, was just looking for a connector on those draw cities, and he gets the connector, so that's intriguing there.
Now that gives him what was 3-card advantage, now a 7-card advantage here.
Yeah, Cody's been favoring this yellow Seth since really the start of the game. Just looking back here, +4 yellow, +4 yellow, double yellow. He wants the yellow. He definitely wants to keep it in them yellows and see how Lara can play it, as Lara will think this one through. And like I said, there's not many options with +4s. It's going to come down to an old school red wild game.
Lara taking his time here. Would have gotten 2 new freshies off of the +2 played on him.
classic moment here is we're over solid, I think, 15-minute game. We are definitely putting the iron here in this game for sure. Long one here. And then, Seth, we haven't really seen many long games so far. Looking at the results from yesterday as we got this intermission, we really didn't see anything crazy long. Just looking back, I think the longest game we saw was might have been the Acoustic. Well, that's expected. He had a 53-minute series with an 11-minute 6-second game. That's not surprising. Acosta is one of those players that loves to drag him out for sure. As here comes Lara now. Plays it cool. Cody right now has got to think here with him really favoring his yellow, and there's not a single +2 coming in yellow. There won't be any return cards in yellow. That's something to note as well, Seth. When there's no returns in yellow coming with the +2, you can play around with it a little bit. Let's see what he'll do here. Because we're juiced on that.
Still a reverse and a skip out there in yellow as well.
Here comes Llamas. Let's see what he'll do.
Cody already up.
Split it. Could be a Chomik play. We've seen Chomik do this before with the split ammo finish. Oh, not a split ammo finish, but that's it. We're done with the... So Cody has really got all this ammo. He's just saying, you know what? Juice it and go from there. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I almost wondered if one or both were gonna try and find a finish in green or red. We haven't run very much in those two colors. We spent a good portion of this game specifically in yellow and in blue. So this might be now where we'll start to see. Obviously, Cody looks like he's going for the green. Lara with a little double play there, but maybe they have some red that they got to get over to as well. Lara may actually have green and red. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what color they try and finish on. Cody iced out there on the green. So, yeah, right there might have been where he needs to get over to red to close this one out. Let's see if Lara still has anything to run in green.
Yeah, see, it's going to come down to numbers now. This is when you juice the ammo, it comes down to number of fish. There's no doubt.
Still 2 wilds out there. 1 wild +4. But there's still 42 cards in the deck as well, so to find 3 cards in 42 might take a while to find that ammunition.
Well, that's the red. That's what you're saying. See if your accuracy is right, Seth. I tend to agree though on this call because like you said, we haven't seen the red in a hot second, and well,
there's the second red
kind of
+2.
Right. Interesting. Cody doesn't have the red, then at this rate, it's got to be a plus. It's got to be something in the blues because we don't have any reverses and skip meta left. The red hasn't used any reverse skip meta.
There are only
it's an ammo exhaustion war.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Green.
We saw off the bot, right? They gave us the initial one, so that it's interesting playing the percentages here for both parties. Now, I think that's what they're going to look at. It's going to come down to numbers.
It was Lara that initiated swap over to red, so we'll see if he continues to run in that color or with the +2 there. Does he initiate a color swap? Nope, he'll just close it out there with the red 8. And
plenty of
forced to draw.
There's plenty of chances though to switch, and that's going to be the thing with Lara. When can he switch it? Because that's going to be the defining factor of this game, I think. The switches could be the one, as Cody's still up by 5 here.
Let's see, if Cody indeed is trying to get it back to green to close out. Trying to see, it looks like both the 2s in red have been utilized. Both the 3s in green.
There's the green.
Yeah, it looks like 5 and 9
really
are the only 2.
Red.
Yeah, there it is. Yep. I was going to say 5 and 9 were the only 2 really options there for Cody to get the swap over, and Lara was there with the call back to the red. So now it's just the 9. The 9 is the only path right now that Cody would have to get back to green outside of potential ammo
Zero
chain.
sugar. Zero sugar still
Oh yeah,
could
I
exist.
forgot about the zeros. That's true. None of the zeros have been used in either red or green.
Those are somewhat subliminal action cards. Those zero sugars, man.
They're
Let me tell you.
sneaky, aren't they?
Yeah. There are only 4 of them, and you can really effectively play. And you know, if you throw a zero, you ain't getting no switchback unless it's a tricolor switch. So here comes Cody.
Let's see if maybe he had a zero in green.
Oh my
No.
goodness! Uno.
Wow.
Does that juice everything on the reverses? Almost, yeah.
See.
Just one red. Well, we're not going.
Reverse. One green reverse left.
Yeah.
Or red reverse. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can, so that's intriguing in itself. So Cody goes for so basically just play the percentages, and that's it. Just a +2 draw. So they both have done the +2 draw. Let's see what Cody will get here. I think if he had the game, oh!
Well,
man, that's
he kept
Wowzer.
one. He kept one. He kept one. He finally goes back to yellow.
My God, I mean, I've never seen a game like this where it's just been the card history is making the difference. I have to almost assume that's got to be it because, yeah, it's the card history. We haven't seen one in a while like this. As Cody gets to check.
It's a check. There are still quite a number of number cards here.
Oh God.
In yellow.
Lara to blue. Is that what Cody needed though for the finish? No.
Iced out.
I think that was going to be safe though because the what do you call it? The blue, not the blue. The yellow for the yellow wild break probably was the finish, and it's an ISO. I was going to say it wasn't going to be a finish. It had to be an ISO play for sure. Here comes Cody. There's only one wild +4 in the deck too. So that's something to note.
Only 2 5s still out there. A second one in blue and one in green. And we may be in Draw City for a little bit here.
Yeah, well, at this rate, we're going to be here for a while because there's not much left. And you look at the blues.
2 2s,
2,
1 3,
3,
1 4, 1 5, an 8 and a 9.
A 0. And a 0, yeah. Yeah, we're going to be here a second. Let's see, yeah. Now it's going to be a case of reshuffler, I think.
Could very well. I mean, not much left really even in ammo cards either. There's some skips that are still out there. There's still a 1 wild +4. But you'd have to think even with ammunition like that, it'd be really tough to chain a finish together with both of them now sitting at 9 cards each.
I have no idea on that one. That's something. Unless you meant... I don't know what that one. That's the whole P, yeah. Cody will do the blue, so deuce. So he'll keep the lead by possession. Well, this is an intriguing... Well, this we go for a Clint play. There we go. This is an intriguing one, Seth. Everything's juiced, so... There's nothing really left on ammo. Numbers, it's really it. There is still a +2 remaining in this color. But that's all we got. There's another number juice. The 3s are juiced now on this.
Yeah, with only 16 cards left in the deck here as well, even if you manage to draw that final wild or that final wild +4, you may just continue to draw, right, and hold on to it when the deck is reshuffled, because we saw Cody play both of his +4s to establish the color back to yellow. Lara, when Cody was at check, used it to draw him back. I feel like there's no advantage really with where we're at, the number of cards in each hand, of utilizing the +4 right now.
There's no advantage, and really, it's who wants to reshuffle. Really, that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah. Let's see what Cody will do. plenty of blue numbers left, but there's plenty of blue numbers left, but yet there isn't, which is the crazy part. It's just when do you want to make the break to the right effective number? It's been a good game, and usually Cody Llamas, he's known for these good games. He's always has this thing for the classics.
Well, the thing of it is, you look at what's remaining in blue for a possibility to play, but there's not really much of an opportunity here. Is now we'll have a switch over into yellow, but that was one of the few scenarios there where there was going to be a possibility for a color swap because for most of the cards that were available in blue, both of those numbers in the other respective colors had already been played.
There's the 0, yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? It's who's hanging on to what, and as we go to the board game now, you wonder who's hanging out to what, but the more we get into these color wars, the more we get into these breaks, you wonder at the same time, if there is ammo, when do you connect it, right? And it's going to have to be the reverse skip meta, which is limited on this with the reverse of red and the reverse of yellow still going. It's an intriguing one to say the least here, Seth. I don't know. This is who wants to shuffle, but who wants to keep it going. Now I don't. I don't know now. Because we didn't see no blue. We were just getting off that, Now I have no idea where we're at because there's just so many numbers out there where I said we don't have many blue numbers yet. We could be hiding some. That's where we're at with this.
I think right now we're running in yellow, we're running in blue. I think we're going to hit a point here where we're going to hit another draw city. I think what we're doing right now is we're trying to establish who's going to have the possession when that reshuffle takes place.
Well, Cody's he's gonna try to make the break here with the green. Like I said, there's nothing really in green. There's no +2s. There's no reverse skip meta. So let's see what we got here.
See, we do have okay.
There's juice the green 2s now.
The 2s are out.
Still a 0 sugar. It's really all that's left. Or a 1 as well. There's Aria. Yeah, it's intriguing to say the least, Seth. It's been an intriguing one. There's the 0.
There's the 0. Cody down to 3.
Yeah, but there's not much left. That's the thing.
There's no reverses. There are no skips in green. There's no +2s.
In the red,
there's a reverse and 2 skips still in red.
Unless Cody's got the reverse, I think it's.
Or if he's got the +4. If he's got the +4
yeah.
to maybe chain to something with skips.
Or wild, yeah.
Yeah. It's the only thing
Let's
I can
see.
possibly see here with us going into a redraw. And there it is. There it is. He had the +4 to chain to the reverse.
But, wow. Fair play to Lara for dragging that junk out almost half hour.
Absolutely. This game could have been over 2 or 3 times before now. And we almost ended up going into the threat of a redraw, which I honestly thought was going to happen. Cody somehow was able to find the cards there. Had that +4 to be able to close this thing out.
Go ahead, Seth. Ask Cody a question. I'm sweating bullets on that one. That was a long one.
Cody, that's a long one. I think Marvel wants to maybe turn that one into a movie, a saga here with this one. But you got that +4 to be able to get the chain. It was really coming down to the number efficiency between the two of you guys. How much were you looking at card history and everything to make out the moves you were going to have here? And did you feel like once you guys started running in the blue, eventually over into the yellow, started whittling down those hands, that you actually might have a shot of closing this thing out before going into the redraw?
Man, that game was basically in 3 parts for me. At the beginning, I had no doubt like 5 2s to go with those +4s and stuff.
Oh. So
I almost had it off of just number efficiency off of pure 2s. But then I don't really remember what happened after that. That set of until the next transition where we had that draw city, and I got down to the yellow, and I had a choice between a 3 or a 5 once I got that yellow wild. And he was able to make the color change, which kept it going again. And then I did end up getting, like you said, the +4, as obvious. And pretty much right when you called it, I will say you guys are calling it very well with how these games are going.
Oh yeah.
But then I had nothing. There was no reason to play it, just like you guys were saying. Um, I, I, I don't know how I really wanted to see about the reshuffle. Felt like I was confident enough to make the break before the reshuffle happened, considering I got the +4 a few draws before. Yeah, just all worked out. Just gotta keep grinding, grind it away. That was
Yeah.
haven't had a long one like that in a long time.
Yeah. It's been since I
So
think really
props to Laura on that one.
been since Fitzwater, Cody. You remember that game with you and Fitz a long time ago? That was 2 hours. Jesus. But
I don't if that happens again, I don't I
oh man.
don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I know, right? Where I gotta say, you fought tooth and nail, and really, I think was it a case of just looking at the card history? Because multiple times you fended off Cody. You did have the +2s early, which was a long time ago. But do you think it was just a little bit of a case where you're not getting the cards that you're using your number efficiency, which you've been trying to learn from the past series against other players to get it done? Because the +4 save was good because Cody was down to yellow Z, the yellow 2. And then you played the +4. But talk to me about how you've been able to use the numbers, because that's really what's saving you to drag these games. The first game for sure was more, both of you guys were going back and forth. But this one, you had to really fight for this one every minute of it, for sure.
Yeah, the numbers really came in clutch a lot. I agree with Cody. The draw cities really felt like gaps between completely different games to me. Yeah, so after each draw city, I had to just completely rethink the game plan. And when it was getting close to, and I had to really analyze what Cody was playing and what he was drawing on, so I could switch to things and force more draw cities. But yeah, that was a close one. Something I really want to point out here is, well, let me. I took a screenshot from earlier.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my hand before and after that yellow +4.
Before and after that yellow +4. Okay, so you had. Oh my goodness, Seth, that is the most poker I've ever seen. Wow. We playing poker? That's poker. That's 100% poker hand. Yeah. I mean, Cody, you said you had 5 2s, right?
Yeah, I had
wow.
I believe it was 3 on a yellow and then 2 on various. I think it was a blue and a red. So yeah, it was. Yeah, that was pure poker with a mixture of ammo in there, as he was saying.
Yeah. Well, you see, Vapor, he said the game should. But you know what, Vape? You got to look at this too. This is something we don't see a lot in this game. When you have poker hands, there's a way to play and there's a way to splice it. But when both players have poker hands, especially when it's offset the numbers, that's not easy to navigate. The bot is basically saying today, go win by playing a little poker, which that's not easy. Of course, you can power play, but damn, if Cody doesn't throw that +4, think about it. If Cody doesn't throw that +4, Lara's got the number efficiency. It was the right read. And then if at a certain point, if Cody's playing a 2 and Lara doesn't throw that +4 or +2, then he's got the win. So that is an intriguing meta set that we have not seen in a very long time, where we're going to get double, triple, even full house set of numbers. Try to go win. That's not easy for any player, for sure.
Yeah, it's not unusual to see it maybe on one side of the table, but to see it on both sides of the table and have it be completely polar opposites in what you need for that number efficiency and have to utilize the ammo to get there. Yeah, that is an interesting back and forth dynamic with what we saw on both sides there, with Cody with the 2s and then nearly a full house there for Lara with what he ended up getting off of that +2. It's very interesting and 2 entirely different dynamics in these first 2 games as well. A rather kind of maybe a teaser trailer in the first game, and then our first episode, our feature presentation, if you will, here in the second game. Now we got to find out in this third game, what kind of a tone have we set? Are we going into episode 2, the continuation of the main event, or are we going into the post-credit scene here or something?
I don't know.
We'll have to see, because a little side of both. So it's kind of an unpredictable of what we're going to see here in this upcoming third game, with Cody up 2-0, and he now has the possession arrow as well. So Cody, only number you can't take is 10. What are we looking at here for game 3?
Let's do a plus Z, and we'll do 12.
Plus Z. Classic. 12 cards here from Cody, 12 pack, and we'll get the P instead.
Nice little dozen to kick off this third game. Started out here in the green. A backwards P.
Yeah. The old tongue sticking out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. But, no, Seth, it's been a very long time since I've commentated a game where we have double poker. And those are the kind of hands, ironically, when I get those kind of hands, I actually enjoy those kind of hands because I've played poker from time to time, and I used to play when I was younger a lot. Still do when I can. Those are fun because you really have to mentally think, when's the time to draw, when's the time to split. Honest to God, looking back, I can see where Vapor's coming from 100%. Cody should have finished the game, but when both players have it, that just comes down to instincts. There's really no right time to break. So the fact that this took a half hour, now it makes sense because there's only one way this game would take a half hour. It would have to be a both poker set, or both guys were really just playing that number to the T, and they both were fading it off as there's the Llamas fading to blue.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes sense here as well. A lot of times we'll talk about, players and the utilization of the ammo in the middle of the games, and sometimes on the return side it'll come back to bite them, but for what they both had with their hands, they had to utilize the ammo then and there, establish the possession, so that way they could then try and rely on the number efficiencies. So a lot of times it does not make sense to utilize the ammo as early as they both did, but in this case, it definitely did make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, and that's the beauty of this, man. It takes time. It takes a little bit different school of thought, and I think both players now have understood what they expect from the spot. I think they're both understanding what they want. Now it'll come down to just what kind of meta do we get here for the rest of the series. It's going to be the key. The meta will now adjust and adapt to whatever is in store. I'm interested to see if we get more of a game one where it's back and forth, where it wasn't as much numbers, just more calm and cool, composed plays, and then is it game two the continuation? Do we see something completely wild? I don't know. It's interesting so far, these first 2 and 2.25 games, as Lara's going to draw here. Here comes Cody.
I think that's interesting, too. If I'm not mistaken, I believe in all 3 games, Cody has been the one to initiate the swap off of the starting color. So, interesting there, trying to, again, establish possession. Also had a nice little statistic jump up there from short on our scoring pile on there, that Lara is now lost 7 of the last 8 games going back to T2. So trying to get the momentum back here, try and at least draw it back 2-1 here in this series against Cody.
Well, Cody has been very, very keen on this yellow all day as we go into our favorite new card, the Z. But he's been very... There's another Z right to the Z combo.
That looks like the S in the Skechers logo.
Yeah, really. Yeah, the font was a Jedi Star Wars type thing. It's interesting.
Okay. Hey, that seems appropriate. Star Wars is in Fortnite now.
Yeah. But, I was just about to say, Cody's been pretty clean with these yellows all game as we go zero sugar. So you wonder, this rate, I don't even know if they don't have it. I think they're just hiding. They're camoing, hiding something, because both players have been keen to do that all day. Wait to make the break, and let's see if Cody will get it back to one possession with a switch. Let's find out. Or does he just play it clean?
They both were hiding the ammo at the beginning of that last game, so if we're looking at a possible precursor to a sequel of Game 2, this may be the indicator. We'll have to wait and see.
Here comes Cody with a run. Potential. Yeah, there it is. Quads.
Bagger.
How about that? Yep, in gold, Yoshi, Goldie, and Yepez for the quads to take it in the green, new color. So Cody's been just, hiding out with just not playing these cards on yellow, waiting for connectors, biding his time, and it's an interesting school of thought. It's definitely more classic, and in a way, Lara is the same way, just biding time and seeing what happens. for sure.
Yeah, not really overstepping, I think would be the right term. As you said, biding time, being patient, waiting for the connecting cards necessary, and only really using the ammo when absolutely necessary, specifically on the defensive side. I mean, we ended up seeing Lara had that +4 earlier on.
Well, there
Speaking of
you
a
go.
+4, there it is. But Lara did not utilize a +4 until Cody got down to check. Could have probably played the +4 when Cody was down to around 3 cards. So the patient level on both sides has definitely been good here in these first 2 games, and we're seeing it translate over here into this third game. This could be twofold, right? Maybe draw Cody back, get possession, but also take possession of the color yellow. Kind of similar to what Cody did twice back in game 2.
Well, Lara switched off that blue. Let's see if this continues. That's interesting. So Cody's going to try to make a little break on the blue, see if Lara doesn't have any juiced out. In the red, so he might be onto something there with that. We'll see what red now it has in store.
This is the first time I think we've been into red, so now all 4 colors have been utilized.
Here comes Cody. Let's see. Double play, little reverse skip. There's Leah's card down at 2 possessions.
Tries to get it back closer to even.
What Lara have here in restoring the reds. Plays it cool. Here comes Llamas now. Does he have a lurker get back to blue, or does he have another play to really offset Lara and try to steal possession? Because possession's been a topic of discussion this game, Seth. You're right. Who wants it first has been very important.
Either back to blue or maybe back to green. Because he had that quad play. He'll go back to the blue. So you had the call there, right? Go into the blue.
Yep. And you know what? Fair play, right? Lara through the +4. I'm going to throw it as well. It doesn't feel like this game is taking longer than the first one, Seth, but these guys have a way of just playing this one out, dragging it home, and seeing where it goes from there, for sure. Now Cody looking to move on the blues. He'll go to JT.
That blue 0 might have been on the return there. Lara, I think, was out of blue when Cody initialized it over before.
Continuing on the blues now into Andy.
So got some blues on that return, it looks like.
There's JT again.
Both have been really good on the Ditto plays as well.
Yes.
Trying to utilize them to ice out the other on a color.
Let's see if Cody's got anything here.
Cody down at 3. Could get checked, could have a finish maybe here. Does he try to get back home maybe to green? Or does he have a finish in blue?
That's it.
Got the
That's game.
+4. Wow.
You know what? Great save from Cody on that blue +2, because Seth, I was thinking there's no way he wouldn't have used something there. That's an old school move. I got to ask him on that one. That's a big one.
Yeah, Cody, holding on there with that +2. Easily could have maybe utilized it as a double play to establish possession, but utilizing it there to be able to have the chain hold the possession to close this game out. Was it just a matter of trying to find the card to get you to that red 4? Was that +4 there? And did you have that initially, or did you have to kind of wait on that in the drawing?
Started out with 1 +4. I believe I was able to get it during one of the draws. But I kind of started with no red or anything interesting. So it was just a matter of being patient, waiting out to see if I could pick that out. And once I got the link in the chain with the yellows that we went through, was kind of able to go to there. Yeah, pretty much. As for the blue +2, I kind of wanted to play it a little earlier. And I believe through our first batch of English. Through our first run of blue, and but I decided to hold on to it thanks to a little number efficiency, and then once I was able to get that other +4, it was just a matter of dispatching the colors that you only had one color of or one number of, and then bringing it home at the end.
Yeah, I'll go over to Lara. Good win there, Llamas. I mean, Lara, I have to say, this one was interesting. You initiated that +4. Any reason why you initiated? Did you just feel maybe Cody had a run? Because ultimately, it seemed that +4 may have been the only thing you had, or were you just confident to say, okay, I got to throw something here because you sensed the run in green that ultimately didn't work out because he really didn't have any green at the end, interestingly enough.
His +4 was a good call, by the way, I will say.
Oh, it was? Okay.
The yellow +4 from earlier?
Oh, no, never mind. Cody said it was a good call. Yeah, so was that your only ammo
Yeah, the
card,
yellow
basically?
one.
I got you.
No, I had more ammo.
Okay.
Speaking of ammo, Cody's +2 is time because I had a run at the end there, but
wow.
he managed to get it for me. The +4 was just to switch back over to yellow because I had yellow 4 and then I was going to switch into red 4.
Wow. Appreciate that. So that +4, those trade up. Once again, Seth, these guys have been ninjas in the kitchen right now. They're both seeing each other pretty well and just.
Oh, I did switch anyways. Yeah.
Yes, it's they're both just waiting to get to the punch and no one's overstepping. It's been one of those cases where I think this one definitely no poker handle. I didn't see much there. A couple maybe pocket pairs of 4s, right? Cody didn't have a crazy poker hand. I mean, called pocket pair. That's all I can think of. At most.
I had a pocket pair of numbers between both colors. Nothing really crazy.
Gotcha. Yeah, so this is interesting now. We'll see what happens here because Cody up 3-0, got power plays for both. We'll see. It's an interesting spot right now.
Yeah, so far here in the Slushie region, we've ended up having a sweep. Had a 4-0 sweep earlier on, and Cody looking to make it the second one here as he's up 3-0. Both players still have their power play. We haven't talked much about that particular aspect of the game, and so now Cody has an opportunity to maybe use a power play offensively to close this series out. Lara may have to find himself using a power play to keep this series going. We'll have to see how that aspect of the game maybe comes to play here in a crucial game number 4. But Cody up 3-0. Still's got the possession here, looking to close this out in a 4-game sweep. Cody can't do 10, can't do 12. What are we looking at here for game 4?
Let's go down to one number. We'll go to 8.
Crazy 8s. All right.
Little crazy 8s there, and for Cody, looking for his first series win September of last year.
Been a while. Yeah, that was the crazy game with him and Ghost, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I remember that game. That was unbelievable. Yeah, well, we've talked about this. Seth, it's tournament so far full of droughts are being ended as we go for the Green 2 Swift. It's been droughts have ended. I guess some rain is starting to fall here in the old movie theater. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
it
one
might
of those
be.
water scenes. I don't know.
Winner of this matchup's going to get the winner of Toaster and Steven. We'll be finding out that series results next Tuesday at 5:30. And Cody
by the way,
4
Seth,
for 4 in starting the color swap over.
Yeah, he used 4-4. Yeah, I was just gonna say, the reason why we are on a little bit of a hiatus come this week. We'll have tomorrow, which is packed, but then Sunday we only got one game. The reason is we're moving servers to from your neck of the woods, Seth, right in the upstate New York area, Buffalo to Ashburn, Virginia. I think it's a good move. Like I said, as Lara goes for a triple. Just gotta try something a little bit different in the old server world with Sparkto. So we'll see how they do. Now Lara will initiate the first triple of this game.
I believe that is the first trips play that Lara's played the entire series. I might be wrong. I think Cody has played 2 quads. And I think other than that, they've mostly just done double plays. So that's the first time we've seen something higher than a double play there out of Lara.
Cody's done a couple. He did a 5-bagger, or let me see. I got the stat. Let's see what the longest chains were. Lara did 1 3-bagger. So yeah, you're right. Cody did a 4. It's okay. Yeah, it is. It's intriguing. It hasn't been much of a game of just cat and mouse, other than just double plays. It's been, like I said, no one's overstepping. Just cool riding. It's sometimes what you gotta do. See what Lara will throw here.
Yeah, Lara with 7 cards. A lot of times when you're in that mid-tier, you don't
Throws
get a
the
lot of
+4,
ammo.
yeah.
There you go. Yep. And it's interesting too, right? Because, both of them were talking about that, when somebody threw out an offensive card, they had a finish. They had a run to the end, and it blocked them out. And you don't know that initially until after the game is over when the other person tells you. But just the fact that you said kind of the ninja-like style, maybe unknowingly closing somebody from getting to the end with just the right timing of just the right card, that could have been one right there with the playing of the +4. Who knows? Cody might have had a run to the finish there and now gets drawn back.
Yeah, Cody down to 5, Lara to 3, so we're basically the same place, just opposite. As Lara draws, here comes Cody. Looking for the tie. And he'll get the number efficiency with the old red one. Interesting. Cody initiated. Maybe he wants to switch. I don't know. This would be interesting. I think maybe that one, maybe that's what Lara wanted, and maybe a switch. We'll see.
Let's see if maybe Lara got something on the top deck draw.
That called it. There's the blue.
There it is. Now the question is,
Cody.
was that the color that Cody wanted to swap over to?
No, in the green.
Look at that.
Does Lara have anything in green?
Can Lara draw it back maybe to blue again? Taking a bit of time here. Is there a finish here?
Could be.
Maybe a check?
Either a finish or a check, yeah.
Trying to draw it back to a 3-1 series.
We'll see.
No power play, which is interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Cody tried to call out. Lara got the Uno called, but goes into a draw.
Well, no, I think that was just an interesting play there. See what Cody will do. I don't think Cody's gonna. He's not. If he's got something, he's just going forward. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. If there wasn't a finish there, it's be interesting what that last card is. Why the power play was not utilized there by Lara, and now Lara is forced to continue to draw. And here we go.
Back, yeah.
Here we go.
Well,
are we getting shades of game 2 here, KT?
Maybe run it. Well, it's. Well, it appears it doesn't matter. Power play wouldn't have mattered if he didn't have a green at the end, so that makes sense. And now we're going to go to Draw City for sure. Yeah, it could be shades. Well, the only thing with game 2, we kind of saw that in the 3 sequences, though. We saw the rising action, then we hit a climax, and then we with the falling action, then we got to the denouncement, and we finally said, okay, poker hands for both. I don't know. I'm not sure if this doesn't look like right now we have poker hands for both. More of just some crazy number switches. That's about it. It's been more low ammo here for sure. Despite that +2.
Yeah, only one wild +4 there so far. 2 skips, 1 reverse. So yeah, extremely low ammo. So maybe a little combination of both of our first 2 games.
See what Lara will do here. Oh, so yeah, that's a mistake because the red wild. So now Cody's going to have a chance to. Yeah, you can't do that off the wild, so that's interesting. Cody's going to have a free chance to really spike this one up.
It's a couple of cards there that Cody knows now is in Lara's hands. Red skip, red 4.
Well, Cody will. Yeah, it's only +4 does that. Yeah, or +2. That's the continuation. So now Cody will, if he can, you know what, he's gonna just play it cool because
so we'll probably see a little double play here with that red skip, red 4. So that'll help Lara out.
Yeah, he'll be okay. Just play that double. Cody will let him have it. So there's the double. There we go.
The
so now
thing
Cody
with that,
will.
Though, Cody may have let Lara play that. He might be wanting to utilize that 4 to go over to another color, knowing that was potentially going to be the card that was going to be left on for him. We'll see. Does he continue to run in red, or does he use that 4 as an opportunity to establish a color of his own with Lara at 2?
See what Cody will throw here. No, nothing.
Oh,
so
nothing.
Interesting. Lara's got nothing either, though. So it's game 2 shades again, Seth. You're right. Just see what happens now, for sure.
Just looking maybe for that one card to chain.
This I don't think it's going to be the case, Seth, for Cody. He's way back there. Lara's starting to get back. I think now they're looking for more half off on the special 5 to 10. I think you just play this one cool and just wait for the game. Because remember, we only had 8 cards, and that sometimes makes the game a little more intriguing with 8, for sure.
Still have a few cards left, especially high tier in red. None of the 4s in any of the other 3 colors have been played, so there is some possibility for a light switch.
Could be. Yep, could be. Here comes Cody. Down the old 7-Eleven, plays the card. In the background. Fitting in the Slushie region, little 7-Eleven. Well, now he's got... This is a strat. Listen, Seth, I've done this before. Save a little bit. We've seen Stingray do this. Save a little bit in that reds. Use some of that cushion.
Yep. I don't remember which game it was or who it was, but I remember there was one point where we went into a draw city, and whatever color we were in, when we started that draw city, the person that initiated it had 4 of that color still left. But because they had the possession in terms of cards, they were more than willing to continue to run in the draw city with the other person. So that's something we see people utilize sometimes as well.
Now Lara makes the move into the green with Cody, and now Cody will draw back. Interesting. As there's the green 9-1 up this time. Let's see what Cody will have here.
So both of them right now looks like with 3 color hands. Cody iced out on the green. Lara iced out on the red.
And red.
Cody brings it back to the red.
Yeah, so red was iced, right? Red was juiced. This is intriguing, man. Now it's just going to come down to the number efficiency here.
There is another... Okay,
there's the blue, so now we're...
I was going to say, there was another green 9. I wonder if we were going to see another drawback, because we've seen them both do that to each other a couple of times here this series.
What's it going to be here from Cody? What does he got? He was saving the blue. He matched the blue well. That's the only thing.
Blue has not been run in hardly at all. Only 3 cards prior to the swap over with the 9 have been played in blue, so we could run in this for a bit, maybe, on both sides.
Cody,
never mind.
Great move. Yep. Take your chances there. See if the red's working. Let's see. It's a drip move. Drip did this last night as well. See what Lara will have here.
Lara may have to utilize ammo
Nothing.
to get out of it. Nope, nothing.
So it's just that patience, end around, draw, see if you can get a top decker. It's pretty much what you're looking for here. Race to the toppers. And we've seen this style here, Seth. It's been ninja on ninja, and both have wanted to play the break. They've been playing clean collective Uno. It's part of what they do in the package. We know Lara's improved from his 2023 and 4 campaigns. Cody he's a medalist in this league. Really good season. Made Super League first year of the league. Didn't even play all 4 or 5 tournaments. And he had a good season last year in terms of just playing mid-tier. Was a top 25 player, 25th in the league. So he's trying to get back to that standard. So there is a little bit of experience playing factored in for both. Now we'll see what Cody will do here. Taking his time. Here he comes.
One would have to assume maybe a +4 or a wild he'd have to utilize here in order to do anything.
This might be it, boys.
Power play with 7
Cody
cards left.
From downtown, Cody Llamas?
I'm going to be interested to see what exactly starts this chain, because I would have to assume it's a wild +4 or a wild.
Man, this brilliant play from Cody if he wins this game on that reverse skip mad to draw it back. That changed the whole fortune if he does do it, indeed, Seth. Here we go. Let's see. Here he comes.
Saying wild got to be in this. I agree.
Cody's not a guy to ever play. Yeah, here it is. He's never not played a +4, Seth, and not finished the game. Down at 3. Here he comes.
Started with the red reverse, so he kept another red card in reserve.
There's the check. Cody Llamas is sweeping. Break out the brooms. Wow.
Wow. Ends on a Z.
Cody, how's that for mentality, buddy?
Oof. It was a long test of mentality on that one. Well, I didn't think it would be ending up like that, but that worked out beautifully. Wow.
Something really similar to kind of what you did back in that third game as well, keeping an ammo card in reserve. You iced Lara out with the skip, and you decided to draw back still instead. You know, I look at both of those type of plays to close out games 3 and 4, and, you know, initially, you know, the instinct is to play that card, to lower your hand in terms of, you know, what you've got in terms of card numbers, but the fact that you held on to those here as well. KT already talked about the fact, you know, the accolades you've gotten and everything. It kind of seemed like maybe you went back to old Cody here in how you played out these last couple of games.
Yeah, first I will say, like, the beginning of that game, I really had nothing, and I was very relieved to get into the draw city. Because that was basically, we said it last game, tale of two games. I drew again a bunch of reverses and a bunch of what was it, skips as well. And then that kind of gave me at least that maybe I have a chance to kind of bring this back if I just stayed patient. And as you said, I was able to just really wanted to stay patient this game, this series. I know in the past people say I've been a little aggressive, which is fair. And sometimes I see one path and I go for it. If I see a link or if I see like I get that one card I need, I'll make that jump. Uh, yeah, I really wanted to keep it patient this game, this series, and just if I didn't have it, I wanted to get back to the old ways of doing it. Just being patient. That's my word of the day. It'll be patient. And the draw worked out on what did I do? On the skip draws, got to +4, and she was full set from there. It was an empty net.
We'll go to Lara here. Lara, we'll come right back to you. Lara, I think today was a case of maybe a little bit to the point where you just were trying to match, would you say, this whole series, just trying to match? Or do you think you kind of call it fair because you had a lot of the games where it just came down to the runs and Cody was playing that patience game just like you got to call it fair. What do you learn from this game knowing that it was down to a point where like game 2 especially where you were fighting, you were starting to get more reads, but you couldn't just execute maybe in the last 2 on his homestand there that you can learn for next tournament?
Sorry, what's the question?
Yeah, I don't even know. So what did you learn in that game 2 that you couldn't apply to the game 3, 4? And do you think maybe because the game was so similar in style and the way the bot was dueling with the cards, you couldn't just find a breakaway? That last game, I thought you did a good job using that initial +4 because it stopped him pretty much from any type of momentum, but then at the end, he found it with the draws.
Yeah, it did kind of come down to who got the right set of cards to be able to like put together their plan first. I will say for that last game, the blue skip into red skip that did come in clutch. That really threw me off because I had no red. Wow. Even though I didn't have any red either. I guess he was trying to go for a draw C there. I would not have minded that, but yeah, he had the PowerPlay and was able to link it up to finish it off. So, yeah. GG, Cody. Yeah. Really threw me a lot of curveball.
Gotcha. I guess, Cody, moving on to the second round, first time since September. It's been a tournament so far. People stopping the drafts. Your thoughts on playing either Toaster guy who owns the pod or Steven in the next round? Is if it's Steven, it'd be back-to-back Canadians. That's kind of funny. It'd be second international player no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same mindset as every game, right? You just go in there, see what the hands you're dealt. It's nice. I mean, it is nice. It's nice to not lose in a game 7 on stream again, probably for like the 4th time or whatever the record. I think it's a record at this point. Just nice. It's been a good week, as you said at the beginning of the series, and I guess I'll have to eat the cherry on the top of the ice cream.
Well, buddy, as you can see, been a good week. Like you said, we'll see what your old FL Panthers can do against them Leafs too. So we'll see if that's a little foreshadowing. But Seth, take us home, man. What we got next on store?
Yeah, so with Cody picking up this sweep here, as Short said in our chat, it's not Slushie region, it's sweep region, because Goldie was able to sweep Drip, and Cody with the sweep here on Lara. We'll have to see on Tuesday if we see maybe our third sweep here in the Slushie region for Movie May, when Toaster Guy takes on Steven. Winner of that gets Cody in the Thriller 32. But as mentioned at the beginning of this, it is a packed Friday here, as this is only the first of a quad amount of streamed games that you'll have here today. Cody moves on later on this afternoon at 1. Nick takes on Eric Monaco in the Candy region. Yours truly takes on Yoshi at 3 p.m. in the Soda region, double Soda region here today, as Abayan and DJ Curtis face off at 7 and close it out in the Candy region at 9 with Nam taking on William Brock. So 2 5 versus 12 seed matchups here on this Friday. But an incredible game, incredible series here in the Slushie region. Congratulations to Cody Llamas. He'll be moving on to the Thriller 32. Be sure to stay tuned here on the MRE YouTube channel for the remaining games coming up here this afternoon. For KT, for our referee Short, I'm Seth Cole. Thanks for joining us here this morning. We'll see you guys later on this afternoon as we continue on Movie May in the 2025 T3 MRE UNO tournament. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you guys later on.
This has been a presentation of MRE UNO Division 1.